What's up everybody? Today we're reviewing the 2019 Audi A6 with the 3.0 V6 that makes 340 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. It's also mated to a dual clutch and it's pretty dang fast. First, let's talk styling. I think it looks really good. I'm a big fan of this headlight design. Most new Audis have these daytime LED running lights that I think look really good, and when you turn the blinker on, they turn the one side off, whichever side you're turning the blinker on, and they go to an amber type color that I think looks really good. And it's just those types of little touches that makes this car a premium car. Talking about exterior styling, I think this car comes together very well. From the front grille to the sides, I like these wheels. I do think that this side looks really good, and I think the back looks really nice. These lights look really good in the front and the back. I think it makes it look very premium, the way that the lights look. I know it's just the lights, but it's those kinds of little touches that make this car a premium car, and somebody like me would appreciate something like that. And I'm sure somebody trying to purchase this car also appreciates the front and rear lights as well. I know it's just a small touch, but it's those kinds of things that separate this from a cheaper car. I know we've talked a little bit about the exterior and the performance, but now let's move on to the interior, because I think this interior looks really, really good. Let's take a look. To get in the car, just make sure you have your key in your pocket. You walk up to the car, put your hand behind here, and it opens. Like I said, I think the finishes that they used on this car, between this nice looking textured wood and this aluminum trim, I think looks really nice. Stepping in, you see these 3 screens. Let's start her up. So you have a digital dash, which is really cool. It's kind of like, I know you can't really compare, but it's kind of like the Lamborghini Huracan. Lamborghini Huracan has a digital dash like that, but so do all the new Audi models. They all come with the new digital dash, which I think looks really nice and premium. All these little touch features are really cool. Like you have your drive select, your traction control, stuff like that. And then you can control like your climate and stuff down here. Up here you can control all your media, infotainment, your vehicle settings. This has an adaptive suspension, so right here you can select if you want comfort or dynamic, and you can also set an individual setting to whatever you want. So if you go to your drive select right here, you can just go to individual. So if you want your transmission to shift sporty but you want your suspension to be in comfort, you can do that in your individual setting right there. And you can see over here it tells you which drive mode you're in. Everything is piano black in your center console area, which could be a problem with fingerprints and stuff like that, but if you keep it clean, I think it looks really good. One thing I did notice about these 2 touchscreens here, it's kind of like if you have a MacBook Pro or a MacBook Air or something like that, it's kind of like that touchpad type thing. When you touch the screen, it doesn't really do anything. But if you push it down a little bit, like you would on like a MacBook Pro when you're navigating on the touchpad, it's basically the same thing. You just gotta push a little bit more pressure, which is really nice. So like you can move from side to side, but if you wanna push a button, it gives you a little bit of feedback too with the noise if you can hear it. So that's nice. I think it's pretty cool that you can bring your navigation screen over to here. I think that's really nice, especially if you're on a road trip or something. So you don't have to move your eyes from looking forward to looking down on this screen. You can just look down a little bit at your speedometer, and you can look at your RPMs and stuff, and you can also see where you're going, which is really nice. I think that's pretty cool. That's just some of the cool features that this has. It's got a nice sized sunroof that you use through here. You can open it up through there. There's also nice interior lights. Something to be said about the lights is it's kind of like a touchscreen light, so you just touch it and it comes on both sides. That's pretty nice. And I like this frameless mirror. I think this is really nice looking. You have a little compass up there as well. You have your nice steering wheel. You have these 2 paddles. I wish these paddles would have been in a material more kind of like this aluminum right here, but this also is in an S6, so maybe the S6 has those kinds of nicer paddles, but these will do. They're actually very responsive, so when you click it, it shifts because you have that dual clutch, so that's pretty nice. I just do wish that these were a nicer material. However, it's not a huge deal. It does the job, and who's really going to be shifting their A6 that often anyway? I mean, I would, but that's me. But anyway, to set cruise control, here are your cruise settings right here. To adjust the speed, you just bump it up like that, and to decrease speed, you just hit it down like that, and then you push this button in here to set it. Up on the digital dash, you can have your GPS there, and you can see what's on your phone. You can see what kind of media you're playing. So if you're playing music or you have your phone connected, you can see it up there. You can also see your fuel range and the date and the time and the temperature of the car, which is nice. Your fuel gauge is on the side here, as well as your coolant temperature is on the side right here. Moving on to here, it does have automatic windshield wipers as well as automatic high beams, which is nice. This car also has a 360 camera up here. As you can see there's a front camera and there's also a back camera as well. So if you put it in reverse, you see your backup camera, and you also have your 360 camera right there. That's really nice. And then when you switch into forward, it switches to your forward camera, which is really cool as well. So that's nice if you're in a tight parking spot, or if you're just in a tight area in general. One thing I am not a fan of is the automatic stop start, but I know that's where we're moving to, and a lot of cars do have automatic stop start. Mentioning the auto stop start technology, you can disengage that right here by pushing that button and it fires up back to life. So that is nice that it's just a button right up top here. But so I just turned it back on and the car turned back off. This car has the Bang & Olufsen sound system, which I think sounds really good. I was playing some rap music as well as some country music, and I thought it sounded really good. No rattles or anything like that, so I'm impressed with that. I would definitely recommend getting the Bang & Olufsen system if you're getting one of these cars. One thing I really do like about this car is that you can plug your iPhone in and you get Apple CarPlay, as well as you can also do wireless Apple CarPlay, which is really nice. It works pretty well. It's just there definitely is more of a delay when you do the wireless Apple CarPlay as opposed to when you have it plugged in, but it's no big deal. If you don't have a cord, you can just connect your phone wirelessly, which is really nice. I wish more cars started doing that, and I'm sure they will as time goes on. However, this is one of the cars that does have it, which is really nice. So not only does it have wireless Apple CarPlay, but it also has a charging pad for your phone right in here. And I have the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and it fits like a glove. It literally fits in there perfectly, and it's charging it right now. I think that's really nice. I love wireless charging pads. I think those are really good. And I hope more manufacturers start integrating the wireless charging pad in their cars as well. This car does have tri-zone climate control. You have your front 2 zones, so driver and passenger, as well as you have a 3rd zone in the rear. You also have your 12-volt outlet right here, as well as 2 USBs, which is really nice. There's actually a pretty good amount of leg room back here. I'm sitting behind myself. I'm 5'9", and I'm sitting behind myself, like I said. I'm also 5'9" in the back, as if I got any taller in the back. No, but I am 5'9", and I got tons of leg room and headroom. If I was probably 6'3", I don't know if I'd be as comfortable back here, but you could still make it work. You do have this center armrest right here. You push this right here, you have 2 cup holders, so that's nice, and you got a little bit of storage right here for phones or whatever you want to put in there. And you also have access to the trunk right here. Just pull this right here and you can get into the trunk. So that's pretty cool. That's a nice feature. So if you have something long, you can put through there. You have your map pockets back here. You do have your 2 lights right here, 2 individual lights. So if you're reading at night. The nice interior trims carry from the front to the rear. You have your nice textured wood right here, as well as you can lock the doors from the back too, like that. You have your automatic up and down windows, so that's really cool. And your nice Bang & Olufsen speakers that are labeled right there. I don't know if you can see that, but in the back seats, you also have room to put a water bottle on both sides. So that's nice. You have basically 4 cup holders, 2 for cups right here, and then 1 on each side for water bottles and whatever else you want to put in the back for storage. So I know we've talked a little bit about the interior. We've talked about the performance in the exterior. Now let's see what this thing's like to drive. So one feature that I thought was really cool, and I'll try to see if I can catch it on camera, was I pulled up to a red light, and right down here, it actually showed me that we were at a red light, and it showed me how long until the red light was going to change to a green light. And I mean, it was only maybe like 2 seconds off, but it did tell me how long the red light was going to be, and it was pretty accurate to when the red light was going to change to a green. So I thought that was a really freaking cool feature that I've never seen before on any car. Now on to my favorite part of the video, the driving impressions. Setting off, we're just in drive, and we're in comfort mode. Like I said, you have 3 different driving modes, actually 4 different driving modes. You have comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual. Individual, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. You can just choose if you want to be in sport transmission and comfort mode suspension wise. You can do that in the individual mode. So I think that's pretty nice to set your own driving mode. But in comfort mode, it rides really nice. It's definitely sluggish on the acceleration, but that's just because it's trying to save fuel. If you switch it into sport mode, it's definitely a lot more lively in getting up and going, and the suspension firms up as well. Talking about sport mode and the suspension stiffening up, yeah, the suspension does stiffen up when you switch into sport mode, and the shifts are faster and the throttle response is definitely a lot greater. The suspension does stiffen up, however, going over bumps and stuff, it still maintains its composure very well, and it's almost like you're in comfort mode while being in sport mode. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but when you go over the bumps, it's not so jarring that because the suspension is so tight. It's like you go over the bumps and it's like you're not going over any bumps. It's pretty hard to explain, but it's pretty dang cool. It's something I haven't experienced before in any car, but I definitely do like that. We're going 50 miles an hour and it's pretty quiet in here. Brakes are great. This car definitely gets up and goes. It's pretty quick. So I don't think I mentioned, but this car does have a mild hybrid system with the 3-liter V6. You can definitely hear the hybrid system a little bit. It sounds like an electric car, kind of like a mild version of the Taycan Turbo, like that little bit of electric whine that they incorporate into the car, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that. I want to show you guys the performance. We're gonna do a 0 to 60 test right here. We're driving 50 miles an hour, and something I did want to mention is just how quiet this car is on the interior. I really do like that quietness, and I appreciate that Audi put some time into some sound insulation so you don't hear so much road noise. Another little comfort slash convenience feature that I think is really nice is that you can move these headrests forward and backward. So if you're on a long road trip and you don't want to have your head so far back, you can adjust it to where you want your head to sit. So that's nice. It's not needed, but it definitely is a nice little comfort feature in my opinion. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. If you like what you saw, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by June of 2021, so that's only 6 months away. I'm going to be posting a video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, hopefully at around 5 or 6 p.m. So keep an eye out for that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.